Welcome back to episode 16 of A Brutal Vulcan Start. Just re-entering the base and going through and turning stuff off that doesn't need to be on. Grab some water, turn that off, throw an empty bottle in there. Looking around for anything weird going on. And go ahead and start pumping up our tank. Clean out inventory a little bit. So in this episode, we will finally move the vending machine somewhere else. And I decided to go ahead and extend that new area, which I'm sort of facing right now, and build that way out. The reason is I want to put a big, phase change AC system in there. And I didn't want to end up running out of room. So I'll put a lot of gas processing in there. And so we'll extend that out. And then we'll do a little trading in between all that stuff going on. Let's go ahead and swap batteries while we're here. Yep, found one I missed, and yeah, that's virtually charged. All right. Swap some tanks and dump all that out in here. That little crappy AC system does a surprisingly amazing job. I mean, it just has a connection to outside, thus can only really do anything during the night cycle. And yeah, it's keeping this room at temperature. So I guess if it works and it's simple, why not? So our little stash of water bottles is building up, so we got a good reserve, so that's looking good. While we're waiting to the hygiene to kick over, we'll also do a little farming. Got my tomatoes slowly doing their thing. I think I'll be living off of potatoes for a while. I need to find get some wheat and some other things, make some more interesting foods. I think canned tomatoes will bring up my hydration to 125. You need to double check that. To slow down the hygiene issue, I really should have another suit, lightweight suit, just for in vacuum environments. And then so I have one suit for outside and one suit for inside, and areas, of course, I don't need a suit. And that will reduce that penalty, or reduce the accumulation of hygiene effect. But so far, I seems to be dealing with it just fine, going in there when I'm in there to clear it. So if it becomes a problem, then I'll switch over. Try to drag that water bottle over, and let's go ahead and keep the production line going here. Yeah, it definitely needs improvement and some automation, but it's on the list of things to do. Like finally moving this thing out of the way. I always kind of hover a tool over there to see what I need next. Okay, so it's gone, and it was empty, so clean up the floor a little bit. Filling our jetpack with nice toasty hot air. Alright, so we're going to put it right here. We got a power cable right next to it. Reasonably convenient. No welding was required, so that's kind of nice. And we need to connect both ports because we're running, the system will check for it. Alright, now we have to reacquire the vending machine. Even though it says vending machine, it's not really the vending machine because I moved it. And I believe when you move it like that, some internal hash number will change. It's not by name, it's by some internal identifier of the item. And when I moved it, it should receive the new ID. So then we'll go ahead and find it again. And this means if I go and rename the vending machine to something else and then look at the IC housing, it will show the new name because internally it's tracking by the internal identifier, not the actual name, which should be expected given the fact that you have multiple things with the same name. Go ahead and do another IC chip here. And so the trader that we picked up in the last episode needs 16 empty canisters. So I'm going to go ahead and print a bunch up and sell those off. It's a little unwielding because they don't stack. Here I am dropping my sort of O2 filler script. I will put this script in the description of this episode. And what it does, it's basically designed for filling O2 in a greenhouse environment. So one thing it checks is make sure, that the temperature of the gas coming in is below 30 Celsius. So if for some reason the greenhouse spiked, you don't get hot O2 being filled in there. The other thing it does, it checks what type of tank is in the tank holder. And it's a smart tank, it'll boost it up to like 1800. And if it's a normal tank, it'll do like 9000. So that way you kind of switch back and forth. Although you have to be a little careful if you're going from a smart tank to a normal canister because there is pressure residual in the line. And then if you put like a really full normal canister, that residual pressure will jump in there and boost it too high. But if the tank's empty, then you got plenty of room. Typically, once you start switching to smart tanks, you just want to stay with it and not go back and forth, because why bother? We'll throw it in there next time we go in there. But that'll prevent me from accidentally, now I can start the filling process and not have to worry about, keep looking at it. So, because I want to extend my base, unfortunately I have the this pipe setup is connected to I'm finally grabbing that pipe. It's been sitting there since day one almost. I want to extend the base out further, well, next to this base, and the vent on the outside is blocking that, so I'm going to reroute it up. And that gets it out of the way. And so I can go ahead and build that out. So we'll just do that. And next time we're outside, we'll just move the vent over. So we'll pop that off, and pop these off, and being careful while we're doing this. I made sure I topped off my jetpack before I disconnected it. Trying to find my I have those extra landing pad items for atmosphere, and I can't find them right now. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to go to the trader we have. It has O2, it has water, it has steam. I decided to go ahead and just grab the O2 and the water from the trader. So we'll sell off canisters too. Then we'll go ahead and buy the O2 and the water. And to do that, because it's not the landing pad itself is not insulated, I don't want to store it in the landing pad itself. I set up tanks outside with pumps on them, and I flip those pumps on full bore, and then make the purchase and suck the landing pad dry. Let's see what's going on here. Obviously there's no water in the pipes. Go ahead and move this vent. So originally the section I'm standing on, I was, planning on sort of like putting frames here, but filled in, backfilled with frames at some point. But I'm filling it with stuff, so I'm not going to probably bother doing that. Yeah, this is what I need my those landing pad atmospheric units. I had 3. I think I printed by mistake earlier, and they're right there. Turn around. No. I went right over them. I go, darn it! I had those things. And they're right there. Okay. So we back in action here. Oh, I didn't have enough pipes for me to route this around. All right. So now we got this routed. Poor Mr. Robot sitting outside. So we're gonna put gas on this side. I want gas output this side. And we need one of those. I still need a normal tank to finish off the gas storage. And this is literally the first time I have done a trade for gas or liquids, buying or selling. There it is. All right, so we got that. Although strange, the liquid side doesn't have a liquid storage corresponding with it. I don't know if that data connection is required, but I figured, well, let's not chance it. Not that far, we'll just connect it. We'll clean this up a little bit. All right, so we'll go ahead and crank this up. I didn't actually, I can turn it all on now. Flip that on, flip this on. And the way that script works, when the computer turns on, it will go and turn everything else on automatically. Yeah, we want to start selling off our canisters. We only got 14, need 2 more. Okay, we want to turn this on. We want to turn that on. Okay, let's buy a bunch of O2. It's actually not that expensive. Let that pump away. So basically we'll just keep pumping until we drain it. And then once we drain it, then we'll buy some water. I guess you could have both run concurrently if I built the other side for it. So here's something weird. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, well, I'll go ahead and do the water side. I'm going to drop that on there, and I haven't finished it yet because I don't have the pump. But then I notice there's an air light over here. Like, what's going on over here? Why is there an air light? You know, and there's still to there. I don't know why I can't get that pin, that line won't show up. But, you know, gas there. Why? So it turns out when I put the partially completed water output, that caused an error for the whole system. So the whole landing pad is in error state. And I realized that would cause that, since I'm not doing liquid right now. And I believe if I would have finished the liquid side by putting a pump on it, which I don't have, that would have corrected it. So at some point I realized, oh, what did I just do last when it stopped working? Sort of like coding. We made a change and now it doesn't work. Let's revert that change. Get rid of this and we're good again. Right. So let's just leave this be until that's done. I still got to make a few extra parts. I need I think I need a liquid tank. Do I need a liquid? No, I don't need a liquid tank, but I need a pump, a liquid pump, and I need a liquid volume pump, some pipes, and I need a liquid insulated tank to store all the water. I think I just remember now that I need one of those. Dig into our pile. Looking around for something useful to do while we waiting for that tank to print, and we need to make a bunch more steel frames and steel sheets for the base expansion. Get that rock and rolling there. Oh yeah, I need that liquid pump too, so I can finish building the liquid output unit. A little easier now without that vending machine in the way. Gonna double check, make sure everything's empty, empty, empty. That doesn't work. Empty, empty. Alright, so we're good. So we won't mess this up while we're building the other side. Actually, quite a bit of O2. And this will pull quite a bit of water, so that puts us in a even better situation. I'm going to use this water. What I'm going to do, end up, not this episode, like next episode, or a future episode, I'll run a pipe from here, from this tank I put up, and I'm going to run it all the way down to the side. And so the hydroponic room expansion, this water will just dump into there for that. And then it's already the right temperature and all that magic, so I can get that going. But I think I'm going to, I think next episode will be pretty much about putting in the big AC plant. So I need to have a good cooling system, or cooling, what I call a cooling line, which is a line designed to connect to AC units. And that line should run around 20 Celsius, if all possible. And with the phase change system, you know, it's hard, well, you can dial in, but I don't like using it for very tight control. I use it for more, you know, bulk cooling, and then to fine tune it, like for a hydroponic room at 25, then I just use that output from the phase change AC system as coolant line, you know, the waistline connection to the AC unit. All right, so we got water pumping, and we're not going to bother with the steam. Just to hassle another tank and moving pipes around. So I figured, well, we got a lot of water and all this, you know, too, so we're good. We'll spin the trader off. I think I'm going to make 2 more canisters. Go ahead and swap that tank over. Pop off our suit. Turn the light on. I guess the other lighting options is you can wear a headlamp, or you can use a portable light and keep that in your suit for lighting sources versus putting ceiling lights in. What I'm doing, I have to connect this up because the script I'm using assumes that there's a canister data line, so it can see what type of canisters in there. And we're going to label this. Well, not the water, actually. It's getting kind of low on the water. Didn't want to like be distracted and run out. Potatoes. As I said before, I think the potatoes are a little OP. You should probably cut that in half, make it a little more challenging. Okay, so we'll just prefix it with O2. And might as well just give this a name while we're here. Yeah, unfortunately I'm not as using transformers enough, so that would help isolate a lot of these components. Just can't get that dial. There it goes. So now I gotta spin around looking for the O2 thingy. Gas tank storage. All right, so now and we'll just kind of make sure the script is being happy here. And that should stop automatically now. So since the room is below 30 Celsius and tank is basically empty, it'll fill it up. And I'm just going to kind of babysit it that first time around a little bit. This is this thing we took off and didn't put back on, so we finally get that back on. I still need to put the automation in there so I can open it either way. I can manually do it from the outside if I have to. Also on the long list of things to do. And it stops. Okay, so we have a way to fill O2 without watching it and worrying about a boom. Kind of keep checking it by old habit. Okay, so it's full. Get the pressure down a little bit. Okay, the plant's like between 50 and 100 kilopascals, so. And some more CO2 in here. Yeah, so once the cooling plant is in, then I can start pulling the CO2 from the cooled, you know, the night air CO2, and then cool that down to like 25, and then I can inject it into the hydroponics without worrying of spiking the temperature. And then at that point, I'll put a different AC system in the hydroponics, also maintain it at 25. This should be empty by now, which it is. Okay, we got a lot of water, and it's toasty, so let's. I'm gonna make 2 more gas canisters and then sell those and send them on his way. Little maze getting through here. Okay, here's 2 more. And you're out of here. So hopefully we'll get a seed trader at some point. Flip this off. I was thinking of something else might show up, but or at least show the current traders saying it's running out of time. Maybe because it sat there for a while, sat there for more than 20 minutes. It'll cycle faster to the next trader. Let's make sure everything is happy here. Okay, so I've got some. So we're going to snag all our. We need steel frames. We need steel sheets. We need flat walls. We're going to need a active vent and passive vent and some pipes. That's so we can evacuate the space. Technically, we could flood the whole base and just use my existing vent, but I'd rather not do that. I'd rather just go ahead and put another vent inside of it and close it up and let it empty it out. And there's a little residual gas, then we'll just have these 2 vents running to clear it out. my power situation is really good, so I really don't have to worry too much right now about turning things off. I should really build a beacon. It's actually on my list to build a beacon, so I don't have to keep turning on and off the portable beacon. I turn the beacon, I'm going to do some construction work, and I may go ahead and just decide to go mining after that when I run out of items. So just turn it on so I don't go wandering off and forget I didn't turn the beacon in. Now, one interesting aspect, because I drilled mostly around the base, if I'm sort of, I didn't turn it on and I'm lost, I look for a big area where a lot of, now this is weird. It claims the landing dropship door is blocking. And I'm looking around for it and we drill down a little bit and, you know, I don't see it anywhere. Is it sitting in the lava down there? And it will not let me put steel frames there. And I'm looking and looking and looking and I can't see it. I'm going, oh, darn. And I can't, you know, if I see it, I can take it and pick it up and move it somewhere else. But, you know, I don't want to start, you know, digging down in the lava and damage my suit some more. So I figured, well, okay, let's go around it. If I have to have a notch in my base, so be it. I'm thinking, well, maybe can I put some, so that works. And since those work, then I go ahead and just cover them up. We'll just have this sort of weird part of the base, and maybe dig around later on, maybe find something or whatever. I think it seemed like a bug or something, because I don't see anything blocking, or it's invisible now. The only thing I think of, it just fell. Maybe I should put some, but when I went ahead and put the steel frames above it, now thinking about it, that wasn't a problem. So it sort of like thinks it's sitting there. Is it invisible? Do I just not see it? Maybe I'll hunt around the next episode and see if I can't find it. Although this section expansion is big enough. I'm building out a potential future airlock. I don't know if I'm going to use it as an airlock. I'm just going to put a wall in it for now to enclose it. Just gives me the option if I want to put an airlock here too. Okay, and we'll just use up the frames we have. Yeah, I didn't check. I'll probably have to go ahead and change my battery in my arc welder. Probably a good place to use a Omni belt battery, since I only weld around the base. Alright, so magic of sensor glasses, we're gonna go out and do a little mining. Kind of break up the what's going on here. Oh, there's some cobalt. Anytime we see cobalt, we want to go to it, although we don't want to get too toasty. And back with a nice look at the base. Not very symmetrical, but some asymmetrical looks better. Turn off the glasses. I think I took another point of damage on my equipment. It was kind of windy in there for some reason. I was flying around and got blown around a little bit. Okay, got some more cobalt. That's very useful for some of the super alloys. Okay, we're going to speed this section up a little bit. So we're running at 2x now. So this is the standard. I'm gonna go ahead and put some gas in here. I'm gonna degas everything, and then go ahead and empty it and fill it back up again. I got enough to make some more steel since I'm building the base out. Go ahead and degas the coal while we're at. Yeah. So sensor glasses with or sensor lenses with heavy miner definitely works out pretty well. Now at some point you're gonna have all the ore around the base wiped out, but at that point you need to go ahead and get the deep miners running. Go ahead and toss in the old filters and get rid of those. So looking at the duct tape reminded me I need to go ahead and make a weather station. Set that up outside since I'm have a more flexible mining schedule. I don't want to go zip out there and get hit in a storm. Now I have enough O2 and stuff, but if I hit in the wrong spot, I'll be trapped and not good. Okay, so once you get enough air out of there, we turn it back the other way and crank it up. Get ready for double steel run, and then once we have the steel done, we'll just toss everything in there. Since it's degas, the reduction in temperature is extremely minor with the, especially outdoors. So the rules is that it will decrease up to the temperature or down to the temperature it's outside. So if outside is really hot, it won't get any colder than that. Obviously during the nighttime it's much colder, so it drops. Go ahead and before we start the steel run, we'll zip in here and hydrate, and so we're not in the middle of that while we're so we just popped our helmet off and pop it back on. Yeah, that's just a little easier than unlocking, opening, closing, relocking. Okay, it should be nice and toasty. And this has all been degassed, so we should have no effect on temperature. We're going to speed this up because I think you all seen how to make steel and smelt ingots. Okay, we're running at 2x. I can make it obviously faster. I'm not sure if I don't want to take away the excitement of making steel. Digging around and make another batch, make a lot of steel. So once I get this big section set up and into a vacuum, and there'll just be a little bit of exterior work after that, and then the rest is mostly indoors, so I can do that anytime. Well, I got this running. I'm over there. I have the, I threw all the steel in the auto lathe there, which I have for ejecting everything. And it goes to the stacker and gives me nice blocks of 50 for all that steel.
Power low.
Probably should have started that a little earlier. Oh, I had the steel frames running. So I need, as I said, I need an active vent and a passive vent, and so I can evacuate that room. Now, if I would use a large power vent, that creates a vacuum in like 3 seconds. Boom. Yeah, definitely get away with that. You can put one in your main. If you run a base in a vacuum like that, you can go ahead and have that vent set up. And you can pretty much like open a wall up and still maintain a vacuum. It moves so much gas. And I'm going to, of course, forget to take the pipes out, so I got to come back for those. Okay, so we got some more frames and yeah, my hygiene is getting in the red there. Yeah, I need to go ahead and build that headlamp. I tried both the headlamp and the portable light. I prefer the headlamp. It's more directional. Also, it seems a little more quote unquote realistic. The portable light is a pretty big thing when you stand it up, and it's not something you would run around in your pocket or carry around with you everywhere. You pretty much need 2 hands. So, but light-wise, I mean, it puts out reasonable light, but I think the headlamp is fine. Should probably build that in the next episode. So we're waiting for the hygiene to clear and continue to hydrate and chomp down good old potatoes. Look for any seeds we have. And tomato seeds. I'm gonna go ahead and 2x this for a little bit while I'm playing with the seeds. Even myself getting bored watching it. All right, so we finally cleared our hygiene. So let's get the Dodge out of here. Make sure everything's happy. I'm going to need faster airlocks at some point. Alright, so we're almost at night. And we didn't fill our tank, unfortunately. Headlamp. So we're going to solve that problem. As you might guess, I'm interleaving the Vulcan and Moon scenarios back and forth, and sometimes something I learned in one of the series, it flows to the other one. So I started using the headset, or we'll be using the headset in the Moon scenario, and I go, well, I should probably use them in this one too. Just sort of messing around while we're waiting for a tank to get a little more full. That's probably good enough. Turn on. Checking the charge, and yeah, that's cold enough so we can move that over. Yeah, I really like those doors that protect the exterior radiators. We got our weather station finally. And of course, I need plastic sheets, which I didn't bring. And I'll grab the iron sheets just in case. I forget what we need. I don't build weather stations that often. Okay, didn't want me to weld it. Just okay, yep. Yeah, I think that's it. So let's cable it up. I like keeping mine cabled. And we're in the green. I'm not sure if there's a delay in there. Alright, so at least we won't get caught unaware of a storm. And this is all 2x here, so we don't get too bored watching frames being put up. Okay, so this is something I realized, yeah, so the top pieces, frames went up fine. So it's not like it's sitting in lava and projecting everything up, blocking. It's like that spot, it thinks there's a door sitting there. I didn't see a door, but maybe there's one in there, or maybe the door is invisible now. Sort of floating or something. Kind of glitched out. Like when you mined around, it didn't just fall, it just kind of hung there. Okay, let's get rid of some of the crap we don't need. Okay, we got plenty of sheets now. Got a nice blue battery in our arc welder. Yeah, this expansion is pretty big, so it should keep me going for a while. I think I expanded the base enough. Looking around, make sure I didn't miss anything. And we'll put this here, and we'll put this here. I don't have any pipes. No, I probably could have flown around and just stole the 2 pipes in the other airlocks if I'm really not using it. And that would have been faster. I just thought about that. But we'll go back in and grab some pipes. Yeah, we're sort of jumping between the normal speed and double speed. You should be able to tell what's what. So we're back up double speed now. So we got that plugged in. Now we're going to go ahead and put a bunch of walls in here. We'll leave one wall undone. And we'll go back and start it pumping. And okay, and just looking around for any holes I left, and then, you know, we'll just give it a little bit of time, and then we'll just, when we see stuff coming out, and we'll just open it up from the inside, and then, you know, it's a little remaining gas, we'll just let that vent out slowly. I need to do a little bit more mining. Okay, so we're about to end of this episode. What's going to happen now? We're going to mine. And then I'm going to go ahead and enter the airlock, and we'll end there. Hunting for that cobalt. That's one thing. I also need more nickel. Probably gonna need nickel, but the cobalt is definitely one of the big things. I need a lot for the super alloys, so it's not very plentiful. And nice view of the base in the sun. No storms, and we're back. All right, so at the end of episode 16 here. Until next time, see ya.